Gay men of Reddit, what was your sorry ladies, I like men moment? I'm a straight man with a bit of a role reversal to this question. 20 plus years ago in college, I had a hyper religious roommate. Let's call him Mark. He was gay as could be. I knew it. My other roommate, John, knew it. Pretty much everyone knew it except Mark and his girlfriend. One night, they had been in an argument, a nasty one. So bad, in fact, they got me and the other roomie involved like we were supposed to be judges or something. She asked us why he never tried to make a move on her. We tried to stay out of it, and Mark kept saying for purity's sake. Finally, John and I looked at each other, sighed, and John said, "Mark, it's probably because you like men." The room was silent. Mark looked like someone had just punched him. Then, after a long pause, he quietly asked, "How did you know?" His girlfriend started shouting at him about lying to her and being made a fool. That gave me and John a chance to escape. I never saw her again, but the next day we all had a good chat with Mark about who he was and what he'd been hiding. Even though we were cool with everything, Mark was so embarrassed by the situation that he ended up moving out about 2 weeks later. While he didn't come out to society at large at that time, he came out to his family, but most importantly, he finally admitted to himself who he was. First time this happened was in high school. She and I were in journalism together. As part of the class we had to share our phone numbers. It was so that if we needed someone to cover an event, we could always find someone. Anyway, she calls one day. She wants to get more into photography. I was the photo editor, so not too unusual. I take her with me to a few events I was working, and she was always thankful at the end. Looking back, it should have struck me that her form of affection was getting more intimate. At first it was a hug, then it was calling or texting just to talk, then it was talk about how we make a great team, and lastly she tried to stay bolted to my side during the day. Now I was still oblivious that this is flirting. I took it as her being just a touchy-feely kind of person. One day after working a game, she asks me outright why I haven't asked her out. I shot back, "Why would I do that?" She goes off about how she's been trying for weeks to drop hints that she's into me, that I was flirting back, and if I thought she was ugly. She started tearing up about how she thought I liked her and must have only been keeping her going to be cruel. Mind you, at this point, I haven't said a word. After a few moments of silence, I said, "I'm gay." She called bullshit. I didn't look, sound or act gay. At that point, I could have walked away but I didn't. It took a while to get her to accept that fact. But she came around, especially after she saw me hugging a guy during passing period. The context of that hug is a story for a different day. She and I have actually stayed friends over the years, even went to college together. She's been my watchdog over the entire time, letting me know when women are being flirting. I still can't tell when anyone, regardless of gender, is flirting. As a side note, this has happened a number of times over the years. It makes me kind of sad, because I can't give them what they want. It takes a lot to talk to someone you like, and when you get along with them it only raises the hope it can be something more. Being attracted to enough straight guys to know this feeling. I've taken to the policy of feeling out a person's view toward LGBT matters, and if safe, making it clear I'm gay. All the time. Unfortunately, well, actually, rarely do I even notice that a lady is flirting with me. It usually has to be pointed out to me after the fact. But dozens of times ladies have tried to flirt with me, and those times that I either do pick it up, or someone else points it out to me, I have to gently let them know that my boat does not sail in that direction and I am not accepting ladies as passengers. Then it makes me mad. I get ladies to flirt with me, but never the men. I don't think that's fair. I could in theory get what I don't want, but I can't get what I... A girl had approached me during college because I speaking English with a friend and she wanted us to be friends so she could practice her English with somebody. English is neither our first or second language where I'm from, and I found out later on that she was actually following me for 2 months prior. A month goes by, she asks me if I'm interested in someone. I take the hint that she's interested in me, so I come out to her the next day. She was the first person I ever came out to, and we remain as friends the following months. She was asking me out all the time, going to movies, taking a walk on the beach, She starts locking arms with me, etc. Things that are usually done by couples, but I paid no mind because I already came out to her, so she must just be excited to do things with her new gay BFF. 3 or 4 months after the start of our friendship, she proposes to me and tells me she wants to have my babies while we're crossing a street. It was so weird. I told her again that I was gay, so that wasn't possible. She told me she loved me and wouldn't mind if we just became best friends who are married, which made no sense to me and just made it clear that she wasn't viewing us as just friends this whole time, so I ended the friendship right there. The next 2 months she started following me everywhere, going to my classes, riding the same bus as me even if we don't live close by, and she started creating fake accounts to add me on social media as I blocked her main ones. One day she lied to one of my friends, told him we were in a relationship and I was ghosting her, so she wanted him to take her to my place. He believed her and brought her to where I live, and she made a scene. She pretended to pass out and wouldn't leave until I talked to her. I agreed and we went to a garden far from home because that was embarrassing as shoot. I explained to her for the 3rd time how me being gay means she has 0 chance to be in a relationship with me and told her she was making me uncomfortable. She seemed to get it and went home afterwards. I was relieved that it was finally over. Except, a few days later she was knocking on my front door. I opened it. She handed me a letter and told me to read it. She left. I closed the door and burned the letter without reading it. Till this day I still don't know what was in that letter. Was it a goodbye or what? It a last try to get with me? Anyways, that's the story of how the first person I come out to started stalking me. I've had 2 friends falling for me before knowing I was gay. One in particular was pretty interesting. First year of undergrad, I wasn't completely out of the closet yet. Only parents and close friends knowing of it. I move into this big shared house, and this girl very quickly becomes my friend. Pretty fast we start doing a lot of things together and being really friendly. For example, hugging a lot. She had a boyfriend who was adjacent to our friend group and hanged out with us pretty often. With this situation established, I formed this impression of boyfriend, of someone who's very sarcastic and funny, but a little weird. I felt like he always had a spiky quip for anything I said, but in a joke way. He's off somehow, but I'm not sure how, and I don't think too much about it. He's just one of my acquaintances. A few months later, those 2 start to have frequent fights. They would be super close one day, and then I'd find her crying on the doorsteps the next one. That sucks, but it happens. I thought I'd become even closer to her, giving her emotional support. Then closer to the end of the year, me and my friends decide to rent a house to live together. The boyfriend is part of this group. We go see houses, talk room sharing. We're broke college students, after all, and every time I mention it would make sense if I shared a room with him, I'm ignored. Once again, I don't think too much about it. Then it all clicks together this one day where me and my friends are shooting shoot and I get in a heated exchange with one friend, not boyfriend, over the way he had been handling his own relationship. He gets mad and yells back, "If you're so magnanimous, then why the hell are you stringing girl along even though you know you don't want anything with her?" I'm extremely confused. I have no idea what he's talking about. How am I stringing her along? Then they finally explain everything. Girl is into me, everybody thinks. Boyfriend picked up on that, and has for the entire year thought that I was reciprocating it. He hates me. That's why they fight so much. My friends hadn't told me because they thought I knew what I was doing for some goddamn reason. Which of course I didn't. I'm gay. I didn't understand the politics of straight relationships, especially when we were all 18. I thought we clearly were just friends. Nobody else did. I immediately tell my friends to let them know I'm gay. They do, and immediately she becomes more distant. Next week, boyfriend randomly stops by and hangs out with me, in one of the weirdest afternoons of my life. After half an hour we don't have anything left to talk about and still he won't leave. That went for 4 hours. Only later I realized he was there just to somehow, without asking directly, confirm that I really was gay. That was one of the last times I ever talked to him. They broke up for good soon after. And I only talk to girl once every few years now. TLDR. I become friends with a girl. She falls for me and everybody knows it but me. Everybody thinks I'm doing it on purpose, including her boyfriend, who hates me. This situation goes on for an entire year.